doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name's Simon down here at JD Golf Academy at Drain Park Golf Club. And today we're having a look at the i210 and the i200 and whether the 10 on the back of the club is actually worth it. Now I've done a bit of research and I've looked second-hand set of i200s now. You could probably get about 7 clubs for about £500, 550, something like that. Obviously the i210s are coming out at 125 to 130 pounds a club. So you could be saving yourself about £300 with a second-hand set, and obviously in good condition, right shaft and everything else like that. So what I want to see today is it worth it? Now let's talk a bit about the i210. I'll show you the difference of what they've added to it, and then we'll get them on the GC quad and see what they can do. So guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As always, please subscribe and let's get straight into the video. Okay, so for people that can't remember what the i200 looks like, I'll just give you a quick preview. I've got a same dynamic gold SV100 shaft, so your standard shaft in the back of it. And I'm just going to show you just what it looks like, and then I can show you the i210. I can talk about a few of the changes, all right? So there's the i200 front and back. Good looking club. Nothing wrong with the club at all. Right, let's have a look at the i210. Right, the i210, or the i210. Looks bigger from the back all of a sudden. So they've definitely made that CTP port at the back of the club a lot bigger. So obviously that's a lot wider. That's supposed to give more of a face to ball interaction, longer, 25% longer, to help give that kind of feel and solid contact. All right. Also with the grooves, with the pitching wedge and the U wedge, they've made them closer together and slightly sharper. Now I don't know how they do that, because obviously they've got to conform to the USGA rules. So I don't know why these wouldn't necessarily been the same, because obviously the groove sharpness has been out, well, in terms of the rules anyway, has been out for a long time now. But yeah, just generally looks a lot bigger, a bit thicker, and tiny bit larger, I'd say, from address as well. Tiny bit larger in terms of the way it looks just sitting there. So you're looking, obviously this is going to be a forgiving club, and also going to give you a bit of height, I would imagine, with that center of gravity all the way back. But it looks nice, there's no question about it. It looks nice, but that's not what we're asking. We want to see what is the difference between these two clubs. So let's talking GC quad on the ground. Lovely landscape pick there, which will be numbers in a minute. And yeah, let's get in. Okay, the father, the i200. As I said, you could probably get a good set in good nick, second hand, around that mark, for about 500, 550 pounds. For 7 clubs. So what we're going to do, give them a hit, got a bit of club data, see if the feel, sound and everything else like that is that much more different between the irons, or you just better off just getting an old set. Right, here we go. Great strike. Tiny bit to the left hand side. Feels good. I mean, obviously I've tested club fitted a lot with this, so nothing's really going to surprise me. So I kind of just want to put 5 balls down there, just have a benchmark between the two. And again, I mean, I did the i500 yesterday, so if you haven't watched that video, go and watch it now. As I said, I fell in love with that iron, and I can tell the difference between the two of these, especially having a forged head and then obviously a cast iron head, I should say. But still, good result. 3 solid swings, tiny bit, hasn't gone in the hole yet, but we're flirting with it. It's around there, but as I say, just want to get 5 balls down there as a benchmark to give us some idea. Now a tiny bit, leave that to the right. Again, it's a good flight. As I said, it's a good iron, nothing wrong with it. Fed a lot with this year, forgiving. And to be honest, I'll be interested to see if the i210 feels that much better or sounds that much better, because that's kind of what they're gearing towards really. They haven't really said it goes further, goes higher, you're getting more spin, just more of that sound and feel. Right, there is 5 shots on the board, all roughly around that 165 mark. Ball speed's a lot lower than it was with the i500, which is really interesting. I think my swing speed was about the same, about 100 miles an hour, which is the GC quad saying there. So Let's go. Okay, the i210. Again, I'm looking for that feel, I'm looking for that sound, that forgiveness, because obviously it's wider, CTP port slightly larger as well. So that's what I'm looking for, and then ultimately, is it worth that extra money? Obviously, if you want to get custom fitted, this will be the only thing that is available. However, if you know your specs, you know the shaft, you know the length, then maybe the i200 could be a club for you going forward. So, let's give it a hit. 5 consistent swings, he says. See what we can produce. Well, that sounded great. Great looking shot as well. Tiny bit further as well. Don't know if because it's heavier, I'm obviously swinging it. Mind you, that's 100 miles an hour. Good strike, so similar swing speed. And yeah, straight down the middle. So we'll definitely take that one. Was a good feel. Was a good feel off the club face. Slightly bit right, but I'd say that's probably more my swing than the golf club. Club face a bit too open there, 100%. Don't really want that. I swung that so fast, 104, trying to get out. Let's get a simple swing down there, Simon. Well, that's more like it for sure. Let's have a look. Again, straight over the top of the first one. Solid swing. Feels slightly smooth off the face, but I'm picking. I don't know if I'm just saying that because that's what I've read, or if that's actually what is happening, but feels better, smash factor's higher, ball speed could potentially be higher as well. I haven't looked, but we can compare in a second. Well, that's ripped, but it's slightly down the right side, which is definitely my bad shot at the moment. But again, consistent. Interesting to see that the i500 went a lot further and a lot higher as well. Spin rate's consistent though, but that's not much to take with a mat and obviously a range ball. Right, last one to compare. Again, solid strike. Very good. Right, let's have a look at the numbers. Okay, so first glance. Firstly, I should have probably aimed the GC quad up a bit better. I feel like the straight ones on the left there were a bit straighter. I felt the ones on the right were a bit more of a push, but that's probably my alignment issues more than anything. But firstly, let's have a look. Distance-wise, they're going a tiny bit further. However, when we look closer at the numbers, you can see in terms of my club head speed is a lot higher with the i210. Maybe that's mental, maybe that's because it's slightly heavier. But I don't think in terms of ball speed to club head speed ratio, so you can have a look, obviously 124 with the i200, 129, but I'm swinging it faster. So that's probably why it's going slightly further. Now, if that's down to the club being a slightly bit heavier, I'm being a bit more aggressive, that potentially could be the case. But I don't think we should necessarily get too into the distance thing. I don't think these irons are much further on from the i200s, and I'm not surprised. I mean, i200 is a good iron. It shouldn't from a year or 2 years ago all of a sudden reinvent it. Oh, this one does so much further. That's not what these irons are for. They're not necessarily game improvement clubs, but more or less getting that kind of consistency to forgiveness to power ratio. So again, spin rate very similar between the two irons as well, not much in between them. And one thing, launch angle slightly bit higher with the i210, but in terms of like the sound, the feel, I think that's the thing that I really wanted to talk about. The i210, I don't know what it sounded like to you guys. It sounded a bit better, but is a bit worth 300 more pounds or 350 more pounds for a new set of irons? Questionable. I don't think if I was doing a blind testing, and that would be a great thing to do, if I was able to do a blind testing with both these irons and hit them at, let's say, 15 to 20 balls each, would I be able to tell the difference between the two? If there wasn't a visual element, it would be a very good answer. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comments, what you prefer, what you might go for. Would you spend the extra money, or would you go and look maybe for a second-hand set? Guys, there you have it. There it is. Don't get me wrong, good looking club. And as I say, if you want to go and get custom fit, this will obviously be the only option. So I always say go and get custom fit. However, if you're pretty confident with where your game is at, and you feel like you can get away with a second-hand set of irons, you probably could save yourself quite a bit of money and not necessarily see that much difference between these two irons. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, please subscribe, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later.